Hello, I'm Kelly, and welcome to Kelly Loves Books and Movies. And as I'm recording this, it is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year. And I am just here to do my December wrap up. I think I read one, two, like 7 books. I don't know off the top of my head. Alright, first up, Christmas at Glitter Peak Lodge. Now, I've talked about this in a couple other videos. It's designed to be read. There's 24 chapters. It's designed to be read like an advent calendar, and you read one day and each day. I just read it all at once, but it actually is like as the day goes on. Like December 1st is December 1st in the book, and that was kind of neat. But yeah, basically. It says, travel to the snowy mountains of Norway this Christmas with this feel-good holiday story set in a quaint family inn, structured as an advent calendar with one chapter for each day in December. Anyway, so it's about Ingrid and her grandmother own this lodge, and it's been in the family forever. Ingrid was a climber who got in an accident, so then she's back in Norway to run the lodge for her grandmother. Things happen. It's a small town. There are small town secrets, that sort of thing. I really enjoyed it. So next year, if you want a little Christmassy read and like an advent calendar type of thing, I'd say go for it. All right, next up, Rough Sleepers, Tracy Kidder, and I read this on recommendation from Pat, from Book Chat with Pat. This is a book about Dr. Jim O'Connell and his work with the homeless in Boston. Fascinating. For me, I read it because my neighborhood deals with the homeless quite a bit. I have sort of big, not really big, but big for this town. Encampments at the end of my block 5 of the last 7 years. So homelessness is something, and there's a large shelter and transitional housing a few blocks away. So it's definitely something that I deal with on a daily basis. So this is his 20 some odd years of being a doctor and treating the homeless, long-term homeless. You get to know some regular characters, some of the regular people that he treats over, many, many years. Yeah, it's very good. I mean, you think good, and at the same time, it's kind of frustrating because there's no answers. I mean, I didn't expect answers, but it reminds you that there's no real good, easy answers on what to do. So yeah, I highly recommend reading Rough Sleepers. Next up was Us Against You, the second book in the Beartown trilogy. So we pick up after Beartown. What happens next? It's like the next year once people go off. I did not like this as much as Beartown. I liked it, but the decisions people made in the aftermath and the year following, I didn't like a lot of them. They were understandable, but at the same time, kind of frustrating. Like, Peter, the dad, his whole deal is to get the Beartown team going again and being a club. But everything, like the rest of his family has to suffer because of that. And I'm keep thinking, like, why? Maybe, I mean, ultimately everything works out. At least, I mean, there is a third book, so we don't really know 100%. But yeah, and like I didn't understand, like, it's a very violent group of people in here, and I didn't really understand it that much. I mean, I can understand fights, but they're just like, everything is solved. This certain group of people in the book, everything is solved with violence and threats, and it just seemed like, I don't know. It didn't seem, I didn't like it, the violent part. Because even, like a whole time, it felt like they were a mob, and this is the 1930s or something, not 2000. I mean, it's pretty much present day, so the 2020s or whatever. Like, I don't know. But again, it's just a small group. I mean, it's a whole big town. There are a lot of people in town that don't do anything. I mean, that are just normal. So, who knows? Also, yeah. It's heartbreaking, and some of the characters you love even more. Some of them, the characters you just feel bad for, because you know what they've gone through and you know why they're doing the terrible things they're doing. But yeah, overall, not as good as Beartown. Did like it, and I'm definitely looking forward to the third one. All right, after that, I'm mostly here to enjoy myself. One Woman's Pursuit of Pleasure in Paris. Now here's the description, because I have a hard time describing it. This is the description on Goodreads. When you're a woman smack in so-called middle age, you are not promised anything at all other than that everything will get worse. But what if everything you've been told is a lie? Come to Paris, August 2021, when the City of Lights was still empty of tourists, and a thirst for long overdue pleasure gripped those who wandered its streets. After New York emptied out in March 2020, Glynis McNichol, age 46, unmarried with no children, spent 16 months alone in her tiny Manhattan apartment. The isolation was punishing. A year without touch. Women are warned of invisibility as they age, but this was an extreme loneliness no one can prepare you for. When the opportunity to sublet a friend's apartment in Paris arose, McNichol jumped on it. Leaving felt like less of a risk than a necessity. What follows is a decadent, unexpected journey into one woman's pursuit of radical enjoyment. So she goes to Paris after, everything opens up again. Her deal, and her deal is wanting to hook up with guys off this app that called Fruits, and I think this really exists, and that seems kind of funny. I'm not that an app exists, but it's called Fruits, and you choose like what you're looking for by fruit. Anyway, that was kind of funny. Anyway, the more I think about this book, the more I like it. When I first finished it, I was kind of like, I liked it, but it was fine. Good story. Enjoy Paris. But the more I think about it, the further I've gotten away from it, the more I liked it. It reminded me, her deal was to go to Paris and hook up with people, which is not a thing I would do. But it wasn't just that. She had prior years had spent months, like the month of August in Paris, maybe 3 or 4 times before this one. So she had a friend group in Paris. So she, spent time with them and did things with them, and that was pretty great. It kind of reminded me, we all went through the pandemic. We all were isolated for at least a year. It reminded me of my first trip after, we could do things. It was June of 2021. I went to visit friends in Florida. And just what a relief that was to be able to spend not just your friends, but just be among people. We had such a great time. We went snorkeling. did axe throwing, just hung out with others, and what a relief that was after such, being, by yourself in an apartment for over a year. So I totally got that. And I totally got all her, her birthday was when she was in Paris. So that was 47. So we're really close in age. And I turned 50 just after, and I did a trip. My second trip after that was like a birthday trip. But yeah, just the middle age, single, no kids, and not being, a lot of people who get to middle age who are single, no kids, they wanted it and it didn't happen. And for her, it wasn't a want or a need. So I totally related to that. Anyway, it was a great story. Even though she did things that weren't my cup of tea, she also did things that were totally my cup of tea. And just, yeah, in reflection, as time goes on, I am liking this book more and more. Next up was P.S. I Hate You. I did a review of this on my last week. So you want to know all about this, go check it out. Overall, I liked it, didn't love it. If you're a romance person, it's a fun read. That's all I have about that, since I already said a lot about it. Then last up, just under the wire, I read all of Kitteridge. And I don't know why it took me so long to read this, but I loved this book. Olive, it was a short read. It's not a big book. Olive is a retired school teacher in Maine, and it's really about all the people in Maine and how she relates in her little town and how she relates to them. And I liked that they're all kind of like separate short stories, but like she pops up in there. Like some of them you're reading along and you're like, well, where's Olive? Because she's in every single one at one point. And so you're like, well, where's Olive? Oh, there she pops up or is mentioned. So yeah, I love this book. I cannot wait to read the rest of the collection. I don't know necessarily it's like a series, kind of a series, but a collection about Olive and the rest of the crew. And loved Olive, even though she's kind of, and I adored Henry. Yes, love this book. So that's it. That is all I read in December. And have you read any of them? Let me know. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time. Hello, me again. I realized I forgot a book. Out here looking for my Snowy again. She's not around, and I'm a little disappointed because I was thinking maybe I could show you a Snowy. But she's nowhere to be seen right now. But anyway, the book I forgot was Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It takes place in Japan in a little cafe, and it's people come there to time travel. I don't want to spoil too much, but there are some rules and about how you can time travel, what you can do, who can go, that sort of thing. And it's a very short book. I really liked it. It's one of 4 so far, and I will read the others. But yeah, it was just, since it's short, I think there was only 2 or 3 little quick stories of people time traveling. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Going to read the rest. I highly recommend it if you want a cute little story. Cute. It is kind of cute. It's kind of a little heartbreaking because, the reasons people want to time travel aren't usually like, ooh, let's go see, there's something they're wanting to know or change. Well, that's one of the rules. But something they want to know, or just to relive something. So yeah, good story. I definitely think it's worth a quick little read, and I am looking forward to the rest of the books. So, thanks again for watching. See y'all next time. Peace out.